people, here I am again making a video for you beautiful dads, you good dads out there, your super awesome new partners, yours truly, the alienated or former alienated daughters, again yours truly, the grandmothers, the step grandmothers, yours truly as well, the aunties, the sisters, yours truly, the brothers, the mates, and anyone that is here watching this video or part of these groups to support good dads, you know, through what is a very, very challenging time. Okay, just before I go on about what I'm going to talk about today, which this video would be for dads who are thinking about going to court, or for dads who haven't seen their children, or for dads who are feeling that there might be a breakup soon. So some of you are veterans to what has been happening, or you know, have more informed. So this is pretty much for the beginners. As I was saying, I like to give a little disclaimer. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to give professional legal advice. Okay, I am a mum, or I am a person or a female, whatever, a human that has been involved in the fathers' rights movements for about 6+ years. I have made it my mission and my goal to interview as many fathers and families as possible to find out how they succeeded, how they lost so much, and promise and vow to pass on the information to you. I also help and assist fathers individually. Okay, I used to do it for free, not anymore, but I'm not here to talk about that. Anyways, for the ones that I used to do it for, and even for the ones that I do it for now, I always tell them, when you get your 50% custody or full custody, don't be a stranger and give me the story, right? You owe me, so I can tell other dads and give other dads hope, because that's what we're here for. We're here to give you motivation, to give you hope, okay? Because your children do have rights, and you do have rights as a father. You just gotta know how to enforce them with humility, okay? All right, close that one up. Opening the other one is, please never disregard professional legal advice. Please always go and seek professional family law legal advice. Okay, never disregard legal advice from something that you've seen or heard, or anything that I've written, so that you've read from me. Yeah, close that one up. Now let's go and begin with what the best course of action is when your ex-spouse is beginning to withhold your children. So as I said at the start of this video, this is for you know, some dads, lots of dads that come and like these pages or join these private groups, you know, who are starting to get pretty antsy or nervous because either they're about to break up, they're in the middle of a breakup, they have broken up, and the ex hasn't allowed you to see the children or have any contact with the children. First of all, I am an over communicator. I love that about myself. I am one to communicate things. If I feel I'm compelled that I need to communicate, it's because you need to listen to it, okay? So that's who I am. Anyways, first of all, when you haven't seen your children, daddies, for more than 3 weeks, or even 2 weeks, if she has been withholding your children for more than 2 weeks, or even if there's an order, you know, and she's been withholding your children for more than 2 weeks, you need to act, okay? You need to get moving and get yourself organized. For the ones that haven't got a court application or haven't got a court order, you need to go and get an application. Now, one of the saddest things that happen, and we're guilty of this too, this happened to us, you know. I mean, a lot of the information that I give is because of mistakes that I've made, you know, when I was helping my husband, right? So is you go to a lawyer, obviously, because everybody tells you go get legal advice. So I need to breathe. Everybody tells you go get legal advice, and you go ahead and do the right thing and you go get some legal advice, because usually the first half an hour is free, and you can talk about your case to the lawyer and they will tell you how much they're going to charge, and they will tell you that it's going to cost you $4,000 or $5,000 retainer. And then once they've, you know, eating up the $4,000 or $5,000 by just talking to you on the phone or sending some letters, right? They're going to say put another $4,000 or $5,000 2 weeks later, and they're just going to keep doing that to you for the next couple of weeks, and they're probably going to tell you that's how much it's going to cost if you want lawyers to go and do the work for you. And that sometimes is enough for dads to throw in the towel. Okay, let's not blame them and say, oh, what a shit way to do things, and giving up so easily. Well, hang on a minute. There are a lot of people that are on minimum wage. I've been on minimum wage. My husband's been on minimum wage. Shit's really expensive. Okay, somebody tells you need to fork out $20,000 or $30,000. A lot of people don't come from money. A lot of people don't have parents that left them inheritances. Some people just don't have that kind of cash, right? And they can't even imagine that kind of cash coming their way at any point. And so they're thinking, how the heck are they going to come up with that kind of cash and then see their children? So then they just hope and pray that she'll come around, right? That she'll change her mind, and they'll wait for her or beg her or get angry and do things that you shouldn't do, right? And then all they give up, okay? And just wait for the children to grow up. I'm here to tell you, dads and your supporters, that you can self-represent. Some of you already know this, and some of you have been doing this for a long time already, but some don't know this, okay? We didn't know this at the beginning. We thought self-represent. Can you self-represent? Are you allowed to self-represent? Sure heck can self-represent, okay? You sure can. I always say you should have a lawyer at the beginning of any court battle, especially family law. It does make sense to have a lawyer first, but then just go ahead and self-represent, because I say have a lawyer at first so that you can see how they write things, to make sure that the first application is done properly, etc., etc. So, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give it a good go, okay? An application, now that they've had 2 family law reforms, you can just easily go to the Federal Family Law website, which I'll link in the description, okay? And now they've just made it really easy for people to understand. They've got like a application kit there. They've got the affidavit forms, okay, where it is now easier to make an application yourself. You don't need a lawyer. At least if you haven't seen your kids for a couple of weeks or now it's gone a couple of months, okay, get yourself into court. She is not going to come around. She's not going to change her mind. She is that kind of person. We all know it, okay? And the only way you're going to force her to, co-parent with you is a judge signing an order, okay? Now that's the reality to it. And you can do it yourself, Daddy-O, okay? All you got to do is follow the prompts from the application, write up an affidavit. If it's an urgent application, it will tell you what you need to do. You need a cover letter, okay? You need to state that you want 50% custody, and you need to write down the hours and the time that you want your children. That might take a couple of pages, because you need to say you want your children on holidays and half the time and this and that, and every second year you want this and that. Okay, put all that through, okay? Which is why I say get a lawyer, because usually they have a template, okay? And then you can just put that onto the application. Then you write an affidavit. For the love of all good things, dads who are starting off with an application without a lawyer, okay, or even with a lawyer, your first affidavit should be so short, okay, so short, sweet, and so candid, okay, because, as I don't like saying this, but it's the truth, it is a game. You need to bring your A game, okay? It is a court battle. It's not a walk in the park, all right? Your first affidavit, like most of your affidavits, but especially your first one, okay, needs to set the tone of who you are. The reason why I like, many reasons why I like, self-representing people, right, or why I think you should self-represent, is because at least you have more control and you have a better way to write, okay, about who you are and what you want. And if you think about it, and other people already know this, but remember, this video is for the people that don't know, your affidavit, what you write on your affidavit is everything. It is everything. It is key, okay, to succeeding in a court battle, okay? Because the judges, the ICL, the independent children lawyer, the report writer, the supervision center, just the police, anybody that has access to that material, okay, that will have access to that material, that then will make a decision based on what you have written, okay, you better make it a good piece of writing. And by good piece of writing, I don't mean write 30 pages of the beginning of your relationship to the end of your relationship, to how you feel about the whole thing, to what you think she's thinking and all that crap. That is an autobiography. That's a diary. That's not an affidavit. Okay? You got to be child focused. It's like, duh, of course you got to be child focused. Of course I'm child focused. All I think about is my children. Yes, but putting that on paper is a lot easier said than done. I'll repeat that. Being child focused on paper, on an affidavit, is a lot easier said than done, especially if your ex has done some pretty gnarly things to you, and if she's making some pretty heinous allegations, and she's already got an intervention order on you and made some pretty, false, heinous allegations about you, and now you're feeling that it's your turn, okay, to get back at her or to make some true allegations about her. You got to remember, the person that's reading those affidavits, the judges and the people that are reading those affidavits, okay, those important people, they don't know that. They don't know who's telling the truth, okay? They need to see a difference between those affidavits. They need to see whether her crazy affidavit is going to be different than your affidavit, which is going to be short, sweet, and candid and child-focused, okay? If you are mentioning the mother more than 3 or 4 times in your affidavit and you've got more than 5 pages, you're doing it wrong. Okay, don't be ex-focused on your affidavit, be child-focused. I'll repeat that. Don't be ex-focused, be child-focused. And how do you make sure you're not ex-focused? Get somebody else who isn't as emotionally involved in your case or in your life to proofread it, okay? We offer proofreading. Okay, so, or, not the paid, but myself. That's what I used to do for dads for free. I used to do it for free all the time. But you can get a friend, okay? You can get, an auntie or an uncle. Try not have it be your spouse. I know, ladies, hey, I've been there. I've made that mistake. Because you, the stepmothers and your partners, you are as emotionally involved in this whole thing as he is, and probably more. I was way more involved, and I felt like I cared, or I showed more emotion than my partner, right? Because I was like, that's my man over there, yeah? Like, you're messing with my man's feelings, and you're messing with my man. Like, I'm gonna freaking, write some shit down, that I know about her that's gonna wreck her. But you gotta remember, they don't know that. The courts don't know who's telling the truth. The only way that they can tell who's the bigger and better person and if whether who's lying or not, if you do make sure that your affidavits are child-focused and not ex-focused. Focus on the relationship between you and your child. And also, for the love of God and all the good things that come in this world, read the Family Law Act 1975, section 60 and 70, which is child and parenting related sections. The legislation, it amazes me how many dads and the supporters who are supporting them right through this whole thing don't read the Family Law Act, which is so easily accessible. You just Google it and it'll come up, okay? Section 60 and 70, all right? Read it, get to know it. Those are the things that the judges have to take into consideration. There really is probably about 6 or 7 points that they really have to take into consideration, okay? And you focus on those. You write that down, and then you, underneath that little heading, you write how it relates to you, okay? And then you put it on an affidavit. It's preparation. It's organizing yourself and preparation. Okay, that is how dads succeed. Okay, and you can succeed. Oh my God, my dads, you have been getting 50% custody and full custody, left, right, and center. And it's amazing. I'm freaking loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah, you just gotta know how. You got to know how to do it. Get yourself informed. Get yourself educated. Okay? That's important. If you're not educated, if you don't educate yourself, if you don't inform yourself, even if you have a lawyer, especially if you have a lawyer, oh my God. Just because you have a lawyer doesn't mean you don't educate yourself or inform yourself. Even more so, because when you educate yourself and you inform yourself of the Family Law Act, you can better instruct your lawyer of what you want to get out of paying them to do the work for you. It's sad. It's bittersweet, the information that's sad and bittersweet, a lot of the information that I relay to you in these videos and to others, because it also comes from fathers who have lost everything. And my mission and my job is to tell you how they lost everything so that you don't do it, right? Can't change the past, we can't change what happened then, but we can sure the heck warn you of what to do and what not to do, right? That's my mission in life. That's pretty much, what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. So, and I can happily say it's been happening for the last 3 years since there was 2 family law reforms. Yeah, 2 family law reforms. Of course something's got to give. The law was always clear. It was a culture within the courts, okay? It was a culture within the courts. All right, that is as much as I can give you. Some of these things you've already heard before, but like I said, this video is for those dads who are thinking about going to court, who are not sure what to do, who are at the start of this whole thing, right? Because I see a lot of posts, from dads who are asking, what should I do? Mediation, this and that. Mediation, almost forgot. Okay, so mediation. Obviously, before you go to court, you need to go to mediation. Now, let's say that you have attempted mediation, which is what you need to attempt. Okay, even if there's an intervention order, you will see that it stipulates on the intervention order. Read that intervention order, guys. I know it's a scary piece of paper, but read it. You will see what you are and are not allowed to do. It will say that the fact that this intervention order is valid, but their orders on the Family Law Act that overrides the intervention order for the magistrate's court, magistrate. Underneath federal overrides magistrate. And it also says that you can speak to the protected person, via a mediator or a lawyer, right? Or that you can only speak to them about child-related stuff in a non-threatening way, okay? So, in saying that, you go to mediation, you write down what you want and your non-negotiables. Come prepared. Make sure that the mediators can tell that you've come prepared. All right. In that, obviously, you're going for 50-50. If you think she has mental health issues, you ask for them to get mental health issues, and you try, right, to let the other person know, and you want the mediator to tell the other party that you don't really want to put the kid through, all this crap, right, through the courts. Because then they'll have to be interviewed by report writers. They'll have to be interviewed by the children's lawyer. Now, most narcissists don't give a crap what happens to the kids, but they do care what other people think of them. That's right. There is certain things that these narcissistic women, will and will not do. They have a threshold, yeah. It's not because they feel bad or empathy for the kids. It's because they don't want other people to think they're bad people. Even though everybody already knows that about them and they just think that they're smarter than everybody else. We all know that. But make sure that you come prepared. If mediation fails, then you get your little form. It's called a 60I form. And then now you can begin your application to court. And you go to court, mate. Simple as that. Find somebody who's willing to help you, a partner, a mum, anybody. Ask for help. For some people, it's really hard to ask for help. Well, you're going to have to ask for help if you're doing this alone, because it's really hard. It can be really hard, at least to talk to somebody about it, right? Even if it's just to talk about it, okay? You need somebody, man. We didn't come into this world alone, okay? This thing is really hard. So get a support system. I'm getting a call from my hubby.